This thing can damage blood vessels in the brain. It can increase inflammation in the brain. It can reduce functional connectivity in the brain. And it can shrink the size of your hippocampus, the center for learning and memory processing. And so, what is this awful thing? It's added sugar, people. Shane's going to yell at us about sugar. Well, there are a lot of terrible things about sugar. It also, increases your cravings for things. It doesn't leave you feeling full. You're likely to overeat and gain weight. But what I want to talk about, aside from all these other horrible things about having too much sugar, which is a major driver for disease, especially in America, Western culture, is how you should view sugar and how you should view fat when it comes to body fat. When it comes to body fat, if I eat a lot of fat, am I going to become fat? No, it's the opposite. It will support fat burning. It will support ketogenic motions, right? And so you will actually burn more fat if you eat fat, right? A diet rich in healthy fats is great for your heart. It's great for your brain. That's not going to raise your cholesterol. We talked about that here in One Wellness. It's sugar that is the devil in this regard, okay? So when you eat a lot of sugar, aside from all those bad things we just said, right, increasing your risk for type 2 diabetes and obesity, being overweight, all these things, really why? Well, a lot of the reason is, aside from its negative effects it has on the brain and cognition, on the body, when you eat too much sugar, especially added sugars, right? Well, that fructose is then, comes in the form of fructose or glucose or, other types of sugars. Typically in nature, as we're talking glucose, also we see some fructose, things like fruit. But fruit is better because it has soluble fiber with that sugar, slows the absorption. Talk about that in a second. But if you're having a lot of sugar, excess sugar, you're not burning that for energy, well, then what's your liver going to do? It's going to take those components of the sugar and it's going to use them to make fat. It's going to make more fat from the inside, okay? So it's not as simple as what I eat is on my body. It's what I'm eating is telling my body to do. And we've talked about this before at One Wellness, but this is worth reiterating and really driving home to you guys. I was talking to a patient today, and we're embarking on this new journey towards optimal health, towards better health, and improving body composition and cognition and all these things. And when you look at something like candies and cookies and cakes and breads and all these things that are rich in simple carbohydrates, those carbs that just spike your blood sugar, I want you to look at them and see fat. That makes me fat. I want you to look at fat and say, that makes me less fat. It seems crazy, right? But look at something like extra virgin olive oil. It is dense with calories, right? So this isn't about calorie counting. I disregard that in nutrition guides that I give people, in transformations, body transformations, in nutrition guides and plans. I disregard that. Calories in, calories out. Sure, if I burn more than I'm eating, I'm going to lose weight, but that doesn't take into account body composition. You'd want some more protein to maintain body composition. Protein is the number one thing that exists for burning fat. It leaves you feeling fuller, higher resting metabolic rate all the time. It's an inefficient process for the body to convert excess protein into fat. It will make more sugar instead if it's left over. Right? So protein is number one. But when you look at these foods, that's what I want you to think. When you picture that, there's no correlation between saturated fat intake and heart disease. Okay, because and so when you look at that nice big ribeye, I would recommend grass-fed beef. 93.7, something like that is fantastic. You can find it at Aldi. Advertise for Aldi. It seems like every day on here, right? But it's a great place. Spend half the price, you get good food. But they didn't pay me to say that. But even if you're going to have that ribeye, right? You go out, you get a ribeye, and it's doused in butter. You could douse it in butter. That is going to make you less fat than eating muffins. To comprehend that is for some people just crazy, right? They're like, what are you talking about? People have been telling me my whole life not to have butter. When you eat these fats, it stimulates fat burning. All right, not to mention a lot of these sources, these animal sources that are rich in fats, what are they also rich in? Protein and other vitamins, okay? And is that protein that we get from these animal foods equivalent to the protein that we're getting from plant-based foods? Plants are great. You also want a lot of soluble fiber to help process food, to help slow digestion, improve digestion, make it more efficient, especially when it's combined with sugar, right? It's the difference between eating an orange and having orange juice. When you eat the orange, you get the fiber with it. That slows down the absorption of sugar. It doesn't abuse the mechanism that insulin promotes of absorbing glucose into cells, activating glucose transporters and the influx of glucose into cells, okay? And regardless of all that verbiage, right? Insulin is involved in blood sugar regulation and absorption, right? And that's what you need to know. And when you spike that blood sugar, you're abusing it. Okay, and when you have something that has soluble fiber, well, you're not abusing it as much. Okay, and it makes sense that when you have things from nature, well, this is why we say just find all these foods from nature in the first place. They have these natural components together as nature intended for you to optimally utilize those nutrients to absorb things, for it to have the most beneficial effect on your health. An example of fiber being paired with sugar is a good one. Right? And so don't worry about eating that steak, okay? You're trying to lose fat. Don't worry about eating this beef. Don't worry about eating a lot of meat. In fact, you probably want more of it, right? But we're not going to neglect our leafy greens, our berries, things like that. Nuts and seeds have healthy fats, but, you talk leafy greens and berries, and those have carbs, right? But they're low on the glycemic index. That means they're not going to spike your blood sugar like these other simple carbohydrates will, right? And so, why is the protein not equal in animal meat or plant? Well, animal protein is more bioavailable. You absorb it better, than the same amount, 20 grams of protein in that steak versus 20 grams of protein in even a great food like spinach, which we love here at When Wellness, but not for protein, right? Not for protein. Take, any other plant example that you think might have protein. Beans, for example, something like that, right? Good for your heart, right? Yeah, they have fiber and all this thing. But the protein's not equal, okay? You absorb it better in meat, and it has all of the essential amino acids, meaning those we need to get from the diet. It's very true that most people love having love. That's how we remember isoleucine and valine and tryptophan and threonine, right, and methionine, leucine, histidine, and I think lysine, right? That's how I remember those, right? But you don't have to remember those. You leave that to me, and and it's just know that these are all in meat. It has all of them. So don't look at that as the devil. They spun it the wrong way back in the early 90s, in the 80s, and they were telling people fat is the devil. Please eat a lot of fat. You could douse your food in butter. This guy sounds nuts. No, I am my product. I'm in good shape, and I eat a lot of fat and protein, a lot, right? And I see better results in my body composition when I have more of those things than, in fact, when I have less. It's not as simple as calories in, calories out. What if I eat a ton of food that has fat and protein, but I eat 1,000,000 calories? Well, you will gain weight, more muscle, typically, and it depends how much energy you're expending every day too. But it's not so simple as calories in, calories out, where now you can also look at just the window of time you're eating this food. I do that instead of counting calories for people, and it's much more feasible. It's something that can be easily sustained and progressive over time until we hit that point where, okay, we're good, we're going to keep it here, eat for this window of time every day, right? So I typically will start them 8 hours of eating. They eat whatever they want the first week. Eat whatever you want. I'm not going to change anything. It just has to all be done in 8 hours. It has to gradually work in. Remember, start slow before you go. We did a When Wellness video on that, right? And so that's true for a lot of things. It's also true for this. If right away you dive into eating all these healthy foods and it's all you eat, your brain's still lying to you, telling you, this is what I like. I want these cookies and cakes and bread and candies and all these things that really, they make you feel like crap after you eat them, but you crave them at the time. They're messing with your hormones and neurotransmitters and brain chemicals. And so, it's just something that is simple, is eating in a short window of time. right? And shorten that window over time. Now, you can eat frequently throughout the day, but not if you're eating food that's not good for you, right? I mean, you shouldn't eat good food that's not good for you in a short window of time either. But if your pure goal is to lose some fat, at very least do that if you're not going to change what you're eating. Then we move into healthier fats and protein and, you know, all foods from nature and all these sorts of things, more water and sleep and being less stressed and, you know, going for a walk after dinner and whatever it is. Shot of extra virgin olive oil every day reduces your risk for all-cause mortality by 16%, lowers your blood pressure, reduces inflammation, is powerful antioxidant, it's great for your brain, great for your heart, you know, things like that. 3 oils they can have: coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, right? So going through all that, but look at the timing of eating and look at things that have fat as things that make you less fat. And that really is you know what I wanted to talk about today. Something simple you can take home with you that, you know, hopefully can improve your health, your body composition. It's not just about the fat, guys. It's about, you know, that fat is going to be in our arteries too that we're making our liver produce, right? It's not just for aesthetics. In fact, that's probably the last thing. It's you know, about heart health and the health of our brain. You know, I mean, this is you know, undoubtedly true, right? When you know, when I say that sugar is your true enemy. So that's what we got. Now that sugar can come from natural foods that we find, you know, fruits. And we say berries are great for you. You know, you look at blueberries, they're full of pterostobine and anthocyanins. These are great antioxidants for your brain. Number 1 food for memory and focus. This stuff is great for you, right? But if you're going to have things that are high in sugar and also hopefully high in soluble fiber. You know, have them during your eating window. But the best time, again, is right after that workout. Let the sugar go to glycogen stores. Let it go into stores in your muscle for the next workout. So take that as you will, people. Who do we got on here today? Say what's up. Very passionate about this stuff. What's going on? Who's happy today? I'm happy. Valencia, life would be a waste of time if it wasn't. Roddy, what's up? Not by coincidence. Valencia, Mo, Rodney. Etana, what's up? How you doing? Love you. Luciano, I appreciate you very much. Cayenne Smith, Abdulio. Real DTR, Galacia. Stefan Apple, Blue LX, Princess Bull City. Dave, what's up, stud? I appreciate you. Mr. Nello Perez, how you doing? Dave, he's the beast from the east. Up in here. What's up? I'm headed to the gym soon. I'm going to Planet Fitness tonight. Veggies and Boy, unfortunately, but they have a pull-up bar and a dip bar, so I can at least utilize that. What's up, Rye? And Randy Stanley. Like the name. Thanks for coming on. Oh, we got a birthday today. It's Terry Larson's birthday. Happy birthday, man. Look at my dogs playing here. Look at these guys. That's for you. 2 beasts like yourself. But in person, of course. You know, beast on the rugby field, beast of a dude. And I'm going to give you a beast of a happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Maybe not a beast of a happy birthday, but the best I could do for you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Terry Larson. A great father and family man, and a man who will kill you on the field at the same time. Happy birthday to you, and many more. This is very fitting, Terry, because I know you're feeding your kids some great steak. I know they're going to be big and strong, just like their dad. So, you know, I'm sure you agree with a lot of what we were saying. And look at this guy. Oh my God. You know, this one's for you, man. Happy birthday. I hope you have the best day. Enjoy. As for now, so we got for you, folks. We'll see you tomorrow, baby. Not sure where, not sure when, but we'll see you then. Have a great one. Thanks a lot. My shoulder's getting tired holding this up. And happy wellness. See you later.